Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we normally are making anabolic deliciousness, and we're going to be doing something close to that today. I'm actually going to be doing a full day of eating based on Will Tennyson's new cutting and workout plan. I'm going to do a different workout than he did in his video, but when I watched it, I was intrigued because he mentioned he'd been doing a lot of traveling and he put on some body fat and he'd lost a little bit of muscle and he was trying to get back into the swing of a routine, which of course we all do that when we go away for a little bit. We come back and we want to get healthy again because we tend to not make the most healthiest decisions when we're out traveling and on vacation. So totally get that. But one thing that intrigued me that he said was that he's no longer chasing that feeling of just trying to be full, but wants to feel good instead. So, you know, anyone who's ever had any kind of anabolic ice cream knows that, yeah, you feel full, but some people don't always feel great after having an entire cream. I know some of you out there do. I found myself feeling that way as well, but I digress. So what we're gonna do today is go through the same meal plan that Will did in his video, making all the meals the exact same way. And I'm gonna see how I feel by the end of the day. I'm gonna see if it feels any different than the typical anabolic diet that I've been doing for the last year, basically. And I'll talk about how it compares at the end of the video. I guess the saddest part of today is going to be there's not going to be any anabolic French toast, which has been an absolute staple in my diet plan for the last few months. But we're gonna get things going here with the first meal, which is going to be a shake. I know Will Tennyson drinking his calories, anybody drinking their calories sounds so not anabolic, but judging from what this shake looked like, I don't think anyone's gonna be hungry after this. We're also gonna add in some scrambled eggs after that. So let's get meal number one going here and then we can get on to our workout. So yeah, I guess this is the pre-workout meal. Let's get it going. So right now, this is the ingredients for that shake I just mentioned here. You can see we have some coconut water, we have some non-fat plain Greek yogurt. You got an apple right there. We're gonna use the juice in that lime. You can see a ton of spinach that we're going to be putting in, a cucumber as well, and we're also going to be adding in, if you can see, that celery stick right there. All of this is going into this, and then is going into this. So let's get things started. Negative scale measuring system. Definitely going to be high volume. You know what? That is so much spinach. I think I'm going to add that in last. And let the strongman competition begin. A lot of that went on my shirt. Hey, you know what? There's an adult way to do this. Don't ask me why I forgot we had this. This makes juicing limes way easier. Even one-handed. And even better is it all went in the blender and none went on my shirt. And we have our 100 grams of pineapple and handful of ice. Okay, nothing left to do but stuff in this spinach. Okay, we got everything in there. Nothing left to do now but blend it up. Okay, bye. Little bit of spinach stuck at the top here. And just like that, we have almost 40 ounces or 5 cups of some green, delicious, make you feel good, and probably full shake. Let's pour this out and then make our eggs. Something tells me I'm gonna feel full after drinking both of these and probably be pretty regular, as Will told us. All right, let's make the eggs and we'll probably try to drink these, I guess, both of them. I tell you, I am way more excited for scrambled eggs than I should be because I've just been having egg whites for too long. And of course, eggs, egg whites, either way, gotta hit the pan with some nonstick, right? All right, so while we're letting our pan heat up, let's try our green shake, shall we? Doesn't it look delicious? It definitely looks healthy. Let's give it a go. Ooh, this is really, really good. Really good. I could drink this quite quickly. Probably shouldn't, but I could. The pineapple obviously gives it a great sweetness, and the rest of the vegetables really work well together in there. It's like a sweet green drink. Very good. Of course, the apple too. Add a little bit of sweetness, but this is a lot of micros in 1 cup. Well, technically 2 cups. All right, before my pan lights on fire, I should probably put the eggs on there. Now that everything's made, you can finally sit down and enjoy these scrambled eggs, our 2 green shake drinks here. I don't have any, what is it called? Kimchi. I don't have any kimchi. All I have is good old-fashioned salsa here. So we're gonna be throwing a couple tablespoons of that on here. So I think the salsa is gonna do just fine here in terms of flavor. And what the heck, like we don't already have enough vegetables in our drinks here. Might as well add some more, right? More colors, the better. All right. So I'm gonna eat this, and then we're gonna get over to our workout. Haven't had real eggs, and I can't even remember when. And that was Will Tennyson's shoulders and arms day on his 5-day split. Program as he wrote it in the description box in his video when he did his full day of eating and showed us another one of the workout days. The only thing I adapted there for myself was I don't have a Smith machine, so I ended up doing the shoulder press with the cable machine. Other than that, followed it to a T. This 5-day split is kind of like a push-pull legs, but a little bit different. I like how he spreads out all the muscle groups throughout the 5 days. Then there's that one day where you get to focus just on legs. I especially like the drop sets that he throws in at the end of a couple of the sets. I think that's a great way to get a good burnout, especially when you're only doing like 4 to 8 sets of a particular muscle group on a day. Definitely a way to get a lot of work in a short amount of time. Up the intensity a little bit on a low volume day. I think it works really well. Let's head back over to the kitchen now and we'll take a look at meal number 2. Alright, so we're back. Meal number 2 time. It's nothing all that crazy, so I didn't feel like you needed to see me make it or anything like that, but pretty basic. It's kind of like a step up from chicken, broccoli, and rice. As you can see, nothing too intricate, just some salmon, some green beans, and some brown rice. It's nothing all that creative, but you're gonna get your healthy fats in here, getting some good carb post-workout with that brown rice. I think Will actually had white rice in his video, but I only have brown rice, so I wasn't gonna buy another rice when I already have rice, so I'm going with the brown rice. And of course the green beans here are gonna get some more micronutrients in with some nice healthy veggie on the side here, so. There's nothing wrong with basic. This is delicious. It's kind of like the anti-REM meal with the vegetables. More excitement to come though. See you at meal number 3. So going down to just check the mail right now. Just wanted to see if it came yet and thought I might as well talk to you guys on my way down there. We're just finished up that salmon, rice, and green beans, and
I have to say it's the most vegetables with that shake. It's the most vegetables I've had this early in the day in a long time. So, you know, you can say a lot about the anabolic diet. It does keep you full, but there's a lot of artificialiness to it. So, oh man, my driveway is super steep, by the way. I'll show you on the way back up. But, all right, and check the mailbox. Nada. And this is my walk back up. Quite possibly the steepest driveway of all time, but you know what? It makes for good exercise. We're gonna head back in now for meal number 3 in about an hour. Oh, look at that little guy. Hey buddy, see you guys for meal number 3. So it's been a couple hours since we had our last meal, so it is time for the next one. We're gonna be having our overnight oats, so nothing to make here. Just gonna pull it out of the fridge because I actually made it last night. So let's grab that, put it into a bowl, and we'll try it out. Never had it before, let's see how it is. Fancy in this plastic mason jar. So here it is here. This is the overnight oats that I made last night. Simple, super simple recipe to put together. I did a single serving. Will actually has one up for a double serving. I am super excited to try this one because, as you may have seen, I just got some Cake Pop PE Science protein powder, little whey casein blend that I tossed in there, 1 scoop. So I'm very excited. I'm really hoping this tastes like a cake. And if we found yet another way to have cake, you know, I'm just going to be delighted. The things we're doing with oatmeal these days, so crazy that we used to just sprinkle on some cinnamon and a couple almonds. I know what you're thinking, why aren't we at the taste test table? Well, you know what, just thought I'd change it up, give you guys a different perspective of where I also eat my food. So, no taste test table yet. I don't know, maybe we'll get there later, maybe we won't. Not really a big deal. Point here is that we're going to try our overnight oats here. Very excited, first bite, best bite, let's find out. Wow. So, if oatmeal was cake batter and you added a serving of blueberries in there, that's what you're having. This tastes amazing. It's literally like you're dipping your spoon into some freshly made cake batter, like out of the box or from scratch. That's what it tastes like. I hardly even notice the blueberries, but they're there, so more micros. Literal cake batter. This is like having a dessert. I'm not even joking. This is a dessert for a snack. And I thought we peaked at the Oreo cookie dough, but apparently not. You can have cake batter too. I'm gonna finish this up, and I'll see you guys for meal number 4. And after our cardio session, we are showered and refreshed, and we are ready for meal number 4. Looking forward to this one because it's a little bit different than anything I've ever had before. It's a tofu scramble, so very much a vegetarian dish that Will's mixing into the meal plan for today. It's a lot of different flavors, something I've never even cooked before, let alone tried, so I'm looking forward to trying it. We're gonna put it together now, and then we'll give it the old taste test. Let's get it started. First couple ingredients going in here. I have a cooked baked potato, 350 grams to be exact, going in first. Then I have 75 grams of bell pepper and 2 cloves of garlic in the bowl, going in. And we're just sauteing this up for about 5 minutes here. Want to let that garlic caramelize, I'm sure. And we'll add in the rest of our ingredients. You, of course, can't have a tofu scramble without the tofu. Mix this up so it looks like scrambled eggs. 450 grams of tofu is a lot of tofu. But once you start mashing it up, it does start looking like eggs. It's interesting. And next up, we're going to add in 100 grams of kale, or in my case, my kale and some spinach mixture, and let this wilt down. I mean, I know it's going to wilt down pretty good, but that's a lot of kale. And we're going to skip to the wilt down part. And as you can see here, we have wilted. The massive pile of kale has now shrunk down, and we can keep going with our ingredients. And next, you just add in some soy sauce to taste. And the part that I find the most interesting, puts in a 1/4 cup of nutritional yeast. That's supposed to give it some kind of cheesiness. I don't know if it's flavor, texture, or what. Maybe it's both, but we're gonna find out. It is smelling delicious. A couple more spices to taste. A little garlic powder, turmeric, and cumin. And that's it. Not much else left to do here, but just to let it cook up a little bit. We'll give it a try. First tofu dish ever. Smells good. We'll see. And last but not least, we're just going to add on some of our mashed up avocado.
Tofu Scramble mashup. Let's give it a go.
So by far and away, that was our most involved meal of the day. Definitely had the most ingredients. Like I said, never had a tofu dish or an all-vegetarian dish, really, I don't think, before. Certainly not for a dinner meal like this. So let's give it a try here. Very curious to see how that nutritional yeast works as a cheesiness. That I heard right off the bat and had me curious in this video. So let's give it a try. We'll give it a try with just the tofu scramble first. We won't have any avocado in there, just see what it tastes like without it. Very tasty. Definitely a savoriness to it. It is kind of like an egg texture with the tofu. Interesting. Avocado goes with toast and eggs, so why not tofu? Potatoes in there are going to add something substantial to it, make you feel full. But this is obviously a good amount of volume, definitely our meal with the most volume of the day. That's solid anyway. That green shake we had earlier in the day was definitely a ton. That took a while to drink. 40 ounces of liquid, it's a lot of liquid, but this is a good meal too. The veggies add a nice volume. Obviously you're getting your micronutrients with the kale. Obviously there's some in the avocado and the peppers and those things. For a day with no artificial sweeteners other than what was in that scoop of protein powder and our overnight oats, feeling pretty good, I have to say. I would definitely recommend trying this. I would make this again. This is that good. You think of tofu, you're like, oh, I don't have tofu, it looks nasty. Making it like this, it doesn't even seem like it is tofu. It just seems like it's really just scrambled eggs. And you can always eat scrambled eggs. In fact, I did earlier. All right, I'm gonna finish up this meal. We got one more to go, so I'll see you there. Okay, we're wrapping up our full day of eating here, so what I have is more of a snack than what I would call a meal, but great to have late night, give you a little sweetness, little sweet treat, but still gonna get those micros in because most of it's fruit. As you can see here, I have watermelon, about 200 grams, well, exactly 200 grams, and then the equivalent of what Will had for his final snack or meal of the day, some dark chocolate, which he had 2 squares. This is the equivalent that brings the watermelon and the dark chocolate to 200 calories, which the same for me that it did for Will is exactly 2,520 calories for the day. I am not any better at picking out watermelon than Will is. This looks similarly pale like his did, but we are coming out of watermelon season as we push forward into fall this week, so you know what, the watermelon is just not going to be as good. That's my excuse, that's what I'm going with, but I'll try it, see if it tastes like anything. There is some sweetness, but it kind of tastes like the texture of watermelon that was grown months ago. And of course we got a dark chocolate. Try a piece of this. Yeah. Just enough to kill any chocolate craving. So wrapping up the video here, comparing this to what I would normally eat, which is extremely anabolic. Starting the day off with anabolic French toast and really having many more items that have artificial sweeteners and more baked goods than the vegetables and wholesome foods that I had today. I have to say I feel pretty good. I don't feel bloated, which does occasionally happen when I have a lot of baked anabolic goods. It was also very easy to obviously get in all the micronutrients when you're having more wholesome foods. It's a little bit more work in terms of if you haven't meal prepped anything and you have to cook everything that day, so you really have to have the time to do it. Some of the anabolic baked goods are good in the sense that you can meal prep them out and they're ready to go. But something like this is a great way to change it up if you're not feeling so great, if you're tired of feeling bloated and you're not, again, like Will said, chasing that feeling of being full. This is a great meal plan for that. I've definitely felt satisfied throughout the entire day. Probably my favorite meal of the day was probably a tie between those overnight oats and actually the tofu scramble. That was actually really good, even though it was the most involved recipe of the day. That is probably what I enjoyed the most from the full day of eating. Great way to switch things up. It was almost a refreshing change to go back and have all wholesome foods for the entire day. Cut out the artificial sweeteners. I think we could all benefit from doing that every now and then. I know we all love having the same food but better choices, but you know what? Sometimes going through a day or maybe a week or maybe even changing it up for a month is kind of like a reset. Having a meal plan like this is something great that you can do. And I'm probably going to try to work more of this into my nutritional routine now, having gone through this day. And I'd highly recommend you do the same. I bet you'll end up finding, like I did today, that you actually end up feeling a little bit better than you normally would, and it's a great reset. Those are my thoughts on the Will Tennyson meal plan that I took you through today. If you have any questions on anything, please hit me up in the comment section. Happy to answer anything that had to do with the meal plan or the workout routine. Always willing to talk about that stuff. Have a boisterous discussion down there, but it's getting to be about that time. I gotta get up out of here, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.